outside the orbit of the most distant satellites, about 17,000 miles above Earth, exceptionally close. There's no risk, but it's a warning of what's out there.
I think events like the asteroid close approach and the Russian meteor always focus people's minds on this. We've known for a long time that there's a lot of stuff out there in space and that sometimes some of it does get close to the Earth or even hits the Earth, and this is just a very timely reminder, and a reminder of why it's important for us to keep scanning the skies and looking out for dangerous objects.
So this remarkable sight in Russia is a wake-up call. This rock wasn't all that big. Just as well, there's little we can do to protect ourselves. David Shukman, BBC News.
Well, let's talk some more about this. I've been joined here in the studio by Marek Kukula, who you saw there in that piece. He is the public astronomer at the Royal Observatory at Greenwich here in the UK. Marek Kukula, so first of all, basically a meteor is a bit of an asteroid, isn't it? To oversimplify it, perhaps, but that's fair enough to say.
Yes, pretty much.
So just looking at it broadly, these two things, coincidence?
Well, it looks like they are a coincidence, actually. There was a thought earlier on that perhaps they were related, part of a cluster of objects that was coming towards us, but it seems as though they come from completely different directions, so they're unrelated. It's just a coincidence. All right,
and the meteor, obviously, well, the bits falling off it, the fireball and the debris and so on, I mean, pretty dangerous. Nearly 1,000 people nearly killed in Russia.
Well, that's right, and we think the object that caused that at the centre of the fireball was probably just a few metres across, so much smaller than the asteroid which is passing us this evening.
But, I mean, basically, somebody could be killed, couldn't they?
Well, absolutely, and you know, it's quite lucky that nobody was more badly injured in this one. I must say this is the most severe incident I can think of where people have actually been injured on this kind of scale.
Can you think, I mean, when was the last time that kind of thing happened?
Well,
you hear about them falling, but not actually injuring anybody.
Most people have seen a shooting star, and these are very small meteors, the size of a grain of sand burning up high in the atmosphere. This is obviously a much bigger object, but we know that the objects even larger have hit the Earth in the past, and 1908 is a good example over Siberia when an object about the size of this evening's asteroid, about 50 metres, exploded over Siberia with the force of an atomic bomb.
Did that kill anybody?
Well, thankfully, it was in Siberia, so a lot of very empty forest.
So that was over a century ago, but the fact of the matter is, if they are potentially dangerous like this, can they be spotted? Can they be, I mean, is this a stupid question? Can they be diverted in any way?
People are certainly thinking along these lines. We've now got very good at detecting the larger asteroids. We know of several million, actually, and we've detected most of, we think, the really big ones, several kilometres in size. It's much harder to find the small ones. The one that's passing us tonight was only discovered a year ago, and obviously this metre-sized object over Russia was not detected at all until it was right on top of us.
But could they have done?
Well,
we're going to have to be more vigilant.
Technology is improving, but there are obviously many more small objects than there are large ones, so it's a huge task. And I think this is a very timely reminder that there are a lot of things out there and we need to be vigilant.
Sure. Now tell us about the asteroid. You know, we want people watching TV, yes. So we don't want everybody rushing over to their windows looking at the sky, but just tell us basically what we are expecting in the next few minutes.
Well, as you saw in your report, it's about half the size of a football pitch. It's going to fly by, make its closest approach to the Earth just in, as you say, in the next few minutes. It'll be pretty much over Sumatra.
That's here in the UK, if you're here in the UK?
Well, everybody on this side of the Earth should be able to see it, but only with binoculars or a telescope. It's not going to be visible to the naked eye. As you can imagine, it's the size of a building, but it's 27,000 kilometres away, and it's just reflecting a little bit of sunlight. It's not shining with its own light. So you need a telescope to see it, unfortunately, and also you'll need clear skies, which is not guaranteed here in Britain.
Have you got a telescope?
I do have a little one.
Are we detaining you
guess
now?
Out on my, well,
from seeing this
I'm going to be watching it online, I think, when I get home. So, but it will look like just a tiny speck. You're an astronomer, though, aren't you?
I
know. I'm
sorry. I thought you'd get the whole equipment out and everything. Are we going to see more? Are we going to see more of this kind of thing, Marek?
We will. Things strike the Earth all the time. As I say, everybody's probably seen a shooting star, and these are small examples of what we saw today in Russia. We certainly hope that nothing the size of the asteroid this evening will hit this planet in our lifetimes. If it did, we'd obviously want to try and do something to stop it. But certainly these things do happen. Lots of things hit the Earth every year, so another one could happen tomorrow, or it could be 10 years before we see something else like this. All
right, Marek Kukula, I will keep you no more. You can go and do your observing online. Thank you so much indeed for talking to us. Now, the South African Paralympian Oscar Pistorius has been officially